To the Curse of Strahd, everybody. Last week, the party has ventured out from Vallaki towards the windmill that you guys decided to avoid. The dust windmill was fairly run down. It seems to be, judging by the smells coming from it last time you passed by, it seems to be working as a bakery now. However, as you ventured closer, it seems that the weather has been getting colder in Barovia, and finally it became cold enough that you did need winter clothing. You decided to head back and purchase some, as well as retrieve the cloaks, the winter cloaks, I believe, Tarmajan commissioned for everyone. In addition, on your way there, as you've done so, you've happened to come across what seemed to have been some manner of a very strange thing. You found several sacks with drowned children wearing Vistani clothing. As you guys were investigating the area, you've perceived a man in a boat, a fisherman, throwing an identical sack as he attached to his boat into the water and began to fish. Kind of putting two and two together, the party then immediately put a stop to that. It did end up in the fisherman's death, but he did rescue a small girl by the name of Arabelle. She identified herself as Vistani. And I believe you guys went back to Vallaki with Arabelle. Let's see. Sorry, my handwriting's a little bit hard to read here. I believe, yes, you guys went to the Arasek stockyard and happened to run into Erigel there. Erigel, just to refresh your memories, is the fellow who you've met in the town of Amberstone. And who, indeed, was the one who gave you the fake Burgomaster's letter and basically fooled you guys into going to Barovia in the first place. It seems that he's Arabelle's uncle from the things that she said. I believe right now the party is still in the Arasek stockyard, and basically Argel is looking at you guys, unsure of what to do. He certainly looks afraid. He's holding Arabelle in his hands right now.
Say, "Hi, Uncle. We need to talk." Start walking towards him.
He takes a step back, holding Arabelle in his arms, and then says, "Oh, my friends, I am so glad to see that you've made it safely here. Thank you so much." He's walking backward with every step. As you're backing him into the center of the courtyard.
Are you glad we're okay? Are you?
Very, very glad you're okay. Extremely so. Say, you, how I hope your journey here was a delight. He whispers to Arabelle something in Vistani. She looks at him quizzically, and he's definitely sweating as he's backing up. So if you guys could influence that you could see this map, because sometimes players told me that when they're on this map, like it takes ages to load.
I can see it.
I can see it.
Perfect. He's definitely taking several steps back. You can see people are peering out at the situation. Right now, like a light rain has started to fall. And you can see people kind of peering out at the situation from inside hitched up caravans. There we go.
In a puff of smoke, I teleport to the shadows behind this building and start walking out.
Yeah. He sees that you disappear, but he doesn't see where you pop out. So like he's but his attention is mostly at Urgal, so he takes another step back, and then he goes to take another one and bumps into you, Fisk. He wheels around. He lets go of Arabelle, and he falls in the mud.
I'll give you one more chance to come with us and talk.
Please do not hurt me. Run, Arabelle! Arabelle just kind of crosses her arms and says, Uncle, I don't think that these people will hurt me, since they just pulled me out of the water. He just kind of scrambles up to his feet. You see that his hair is now kind of sodden. You see like one of his hands like go to a pair of daggers at his belt, but like
as soon as that happens,
like he's not like grabbing it. He's just like kind of wary for attacks.
Are there any flames around? Open flames?
Right behind you, there is a sconce. Sconce? Torch? There's a torch in a sconce, kind of like stood up, like with a little oil thing above it, to protect it from the rain.
If I see any around on multiple sides of him, I'm gonna cast control flames and just have them kind of go.
And I'm pacing behind on the other side of Urgal.
As the flames swirl around him, he calls up, "You're blat!" and he slams his back against the door here. You hear the startled whinny of horses from inside. He's definitely very terrified right now. His eyes shooting from Urgal to Fisk. What do you want?
I reach inside my bag and I pull out the letter that he gave us. And I'm just gonna pull it out and I'm gonna hold it in his face.
Explain this.
It is not my. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea. Please, I am a simple traveler.
Who?
The Lord is King Strahd. He wasn't specifically aimed at any of you. It was. I have several. When I travel, I have several of those fake letters. I'm simply to give them to any who seem like they would make for an interesting prey or playing partner for the Lord Strahd, and you seem to fit the bill, so I gave it to you.
How many?
I can't recall. He's avoiding your gaze, definitely.
I'm gonna crouch down, look straight into his eyes, say, "You've got a lot of making up to do."
Guys see just Arabelle, just looking like with a detached sort of curiosity in the manner of a scientist looking through a microscope. What do you want me to do? You want money? I can give you some money. I don't have that much, but I can give it to you if you just leave me alone. Listen, it wasn't anything personal.
You're gonna work for us now.
Give me an intimidation check, Olga. With advantage, I'd say. The situation is definitely scary, and he certainly wasn't
I'll roll,
expecting to be cornered in the situation.
I'll roll normal just because of exhaustion.
Right? Fine, I'll work for you. What do you want?
Can I get a insight check on when he said he was just doing his bidding? He had no other part in it.
Sure. Right? Oof, that's high. Let me just double check. Oh, did we lose somebody? Hello?
Fist.
Fisk?
Yeah.
Let's give it a second, he'll probably come back.
And who is the person that we're talking to right now?
Argal. He lured the original party in, including me, Honorum, and Fisk, and Tomas.
There's a picture of him in the quest channel.
Yeah, he looks like tricking people to coming to Barovia with a fake letter basically promising riches.
Is this one of the gypsies?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a Vistani.
As far
And
as
he's also Arabelle's uncle, from the looks of it. He's honoring. He's actually. He looks pretty sincere about that. You know, so you suppose that that's what happened, and then you do see his nose kind of twitch a little bit, and a kind of nervous twitch of the eye. Like, it doesn't really make you feel that he's lying immediately, but it does put you at unease in regards to the honesty of his answer. He's kind of looking at the party, like throwing his arms away, saying that no violence is forthcoming. I'll do what you want, fine, but let me just get Arabelle back to her father. We've been searching all over Barovia for her and the other kids. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Where's the other kids? Arabelle? What happened to the others that were with you? Oh, they were John too. I was going to John also. What? Mm-hmm. See, the blood kind of runs out of his face,
A gesture to the horses.
and he falls with his knees to the mud. An expression of blank shock on his face.
They'll need to go back to their families.
He doesn't respond for a moment. And you can see tears falling to the mud with the rain. Arabelle kind of tugs at your sleeve and says, I'm hungry. Can we eat soon?
Yes.
Good. Uncle Aragel, can we go yet? He doesn't respond to her. He seems to be in complete shock still.
Where is your father?
Well, I think Daddy should probably be... Well, it should be back at the camp.
Is this the camp just inside the gates?
No. I think it's our camp is hidden in the woods south of Valaki. that seemed to have shaken Argal out a bit. It's like, Arabelle, you're not supposed to say that to outsiders. This could have been how the others got taken, and you got taken. Stupid child. He shakes himself off and brings himself to his knees, standing up with a grunt. Like the facade of confidence is completely wiped away. You could see a very broken man in front of you right now. His eyes are hollow. And he said, "You mentioned you have them on the horse, right?"
I'll just step aside so I can look at the horses and see the bags.
You walk towards the horses, take a deep breath, and open one of them. Then shudder and close it again. I'll do whatever you must. Let's go and take them. Let's go and give them their rights.
Do these mean anything to you? Bluto, Gravel, Balan, and Carla.
Bluto was caught. Bluto was a fisherman. We saw him eyeing one of our young women, and their father put a curse on him that he wouldn't catch any fish for a week or so. Kravel, Balan, and Karlov. No idea. Maybe some of the others know who they are.
What did Bluto look like? We killed one while he was in the middle of using her to fish.
Fat, balding, stank of fish. This basically matches the description of the man you killed.
Well, he's dead now. We need to find his friends, though, and stop this from ever happening again.
Not. Oh, that absolutely. We will.
I think that's a good place for you to start.
We need to go. I'll take Arabelle to the Petrovec camp, and then I'll return with my brethren, and we shall lead a hunt. A terrible curse falls to any who harms the Vistani.
And if you don't return, not only will we not be able to find out who the killer is, but also, if we ever see you again afterwards, this will not go the same way.
We used to hunt people.
Good. Then we will hunt them together then, if you wish to do that.
Or we hunt you.
He looks at you with hollow eyes, Fisk. You see that all fear of self-preservation has escaped this man, and all you can see in his eyes is something not altogether different from what you can see in yours when you look in the mirror. Let me just do some packing. I only need 20 minutes and then we can go.
Fine.
Might you guys wait around for him as he does so? Or is there something?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
For sure.
okay, Argal walks into the thing, hitches the horses, puts on a heavy fur coat. And let me just find it. It is pretty cold right now. And in fact, light rain has turned into snow. But you guys are cozy, with your winter coating. And you guys get up on the horses. Arabelle joins her uncle on his wagon, pulled by 2 horses. And you guys head back out of Tholaki, yes?
Yeah, I'll ride back with him.
Let me just find what I'm looking for. And we're going to put you guys here. Now, as you guys follow his wagon, you can hear him speaking softly to Arabelle in Barovian. Oh, he would have also taken the corpses of the children off your horses and put it onto his wagon.
Gotcha.
At a hint of him not speaking English, on the horse, I'm going to start casting comprehend languages.
Is that as a ritual?
Yes.
Right, as a ritual, it's 10 minutes. So he doesn't talk to her for too long, but you do catch tail end of the conversation. And it seems to be him questioning her about the details of how she was treated by you guys. She says she was treated all right. And then she questions him about if they're going to set up an ambush for you guys when they arrive. He said no. And honor, since you guys did retrieve the corpses of the other children, honor should be given even to non-Vistani. In this regard, you guys are led through a winding trails, and at one point, Argal, you come onto what seems to be an impassable copse of trees, and Argal simply moves straight through, and you realize the trees are not really there.
Oh, nice.
And I'm going to move you guys to a new map. Just grab your thingies. Where is your base?
If I get a chance, I'll whisper to the party what I understood at the end of that conversation.
It's a nice party trick.
You know that one, Honorin? I can use it later.
How long does the comprehend language last, by the way?
Curious too.
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, so for the following hour, you simply understand every single language spoken, right? Very, very nice. That's a really neat spell.
It's a good spell, man. And a good campaign.
Thank you. Let's see. So, I'm going to paste you guys on the map so you guys should be able to see. Let me just refresh my Roll20 because it is slowing down a wee bit. Well, more than a wee bit, it's frozen.
Yeah, mine's frozen.
Six Stockyard.
I pull up next to honor him or the rest of the party.
Do we follow them in the hunt? Do we go to the windmill now and let them hunt? Time is not on our side.
No, it is not. Given Bassoon's injury, I think that should take priority. as much as I would like to hunt the bastards down and kill them.
I think we should leave it to them. Surely they'll want to do something about this.
I think the fact that we saved the child and brought the other children home to be buried indicates our intentions.
Yes.
We come back. They need help. They ask us. We help then.
This windmill seems quite off limits, too. If anything were to go wrong there, we'd have a new problem that we don't have time to deal with.
Argal calls back to you as you guys approach what seems to be a hill with several houses of strange, somewhat unusual design, and on top of the top of the hill there is a. Well, sorry, I had a stuttery moment there. On top of the hill there are several wagons surrounding a tent and quite a few horses. And let me just show you what the map looks like.
And the character who is injured?
Sorry?
Somebody said that
Bassoon.
No one, I don't think.
Bassoon was injured. If you remember,
yeah, Bassoon.
Eric, Bassoon is
Oh,
the half-orc that you guys befriended. He's an outsider who was injured by Strahd's general. And
He's Urgel's best buddy at the bar.
yeah,
My big half-orc bro.
he's the one who's been also training Milvoy to use his rage, and Mother Lucia disapproves.
Oh, okay, I see. And so, I guess the context of that comment was not somebody in the party that was injured.
Yeah, no, it's this fella right. Well, let me make him big. It's this fella right here.
Yeah, the guy with the massive hole through his chest or something.
Yeah, not his chest.
like
Is
a
the
big
side of
super-
his the side of his torso there at the bottom. Alrighty, so
Necrotic and whatnot.
as you guys kind of ride up this hill, you guys can definitely see very confused Vistani looking at you guys. They look untrusting, and in fact, some of them are holding crossbows and aren't ashamed of straight up aiming it at you. There's quite a few that you can see, and you can see, and you know, several quick and sharp whistles bring out more and more coming from the caravans. No, however, Argal holds up his hand, and you guys can hear a lot of whispering in Barovian. Argal turns back to you and says, "Get off your horses here."
We dismount.
Alright. I'll walk straight up.
Yeah, this as you can tell, this map is kind of tiny in terms of sizes. So you might have to really zoom in to see certain things. And in fact,
massive.
something that you guys will notice: who has passive perception 12 and above?
I
I
do.
think probably everybody.
Yeah, so you guys noticed that this fellow who's standing outside the house doesn't really look like a Vistani at all. In fact, you notice that he's not even human. He's an elf.
Oh
His
shit.
skin is somewhat ruddy with a grey tone to it. Very pale, sunken eyes. And he's standing with a polearm as he's looking at you guys. Not with hostility, but sort of somewhat angry dissent. I guess, think of maybe sad, maybe angsty dissent.
And
Let me shrink this fella's out.
we discern between drow and dead.
He does not look like a drow. He looks a little bit like a Drow, maybe in the wrong light, but he is mostly. But his skin is a lot lighter than a Drow's is. Alrighty. Arabelle and Aragal walking, and you guys do hear the name Arabelle's name. Said it's like, oh, Arabelle Khazra, Arabelle Saklesan. Aragal makes his way up the hill here with Arabelle on his shoulders. You guys see that the Vistani by now lowered their crossbows and bows, seemingly studied to pass. Fisk, your horse gives you a big lick on your face if you don't dodge in time.
I just take it.
Like your right side of your cheek is like sticking straight up.
I'm watching Aragal, kind
You
of
guys,
reaching up and scratching the chest.
You guys are following Aragal up the hill.
Yeah.
As the guys approach, he says, "We're about to meet my brother, Luvash. He is the de facto leader of the Petrovics, second only to Matriarch Liana."
Before Varus heads up the hill,
We will steal the horses.
and Fisk goes and sits in the middle of the horses.
Okay.
As you guys approach, and a man, Vistani, stumbles out of the tent unsteadily and then falls to the ground. You can see his face is bloodied. Stomping out after him, a large man, shouting in Barovian. Honoring you can understand. Says, "And I'll break every other finger you have until you fucking find where they went." And the man kind of starts to scabble away, and the man looks up in anger as and is about to kind of give chase, but when he notices like several, Aragal and Arabelle standing outside. Arabelska! Oh, Arabelska! And he grabs her and says, "Oh, hi, Daddy." And he just grabs her and just crushes her like in his arms, like in a tight hug, sobbing into her head and just like, "Daddy, you're crushing me!" The man simply continues sobbing, although he does kind of let a little bit. Aragal laughs a little bit humorously as he approaches and joins in the hug. You hear some quiet Barovian being exchanged on him. What's your passive, by the way?
Passive perception?
Yeah.
21.
All right. Jesus. Oh yeah, I forget you have that feat.
God.
Yeah, you can hear.
I think you can get it that high.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Aragal explaining. Well, the conversation begins like the man he kind of takes notice of you guys and says, "Aragal, what the fuck are these outsiders doing here? What is all this? Where did you find Arabelle?" "It's complicated, Luvash, but they're the ones who found her. From what I don't understand it myself, but they rescued her from drowning. Did you find the other kids too?" "No. Well, it was too late for them already. but they did bring them. Fuck. Alright. Honor must be observed. Puts Arabelle down and looks down at this guy. Who, in Barovin, kind of pleads. You can hear him like slurring his words. It's very clear that his teeth have been broken, and nose has been just smashed across his face. Luvash, please. See, she's back. Everything is a pro. And you see him get a kick in the teeth and makes him almost tumble end over end down the hill, like over the side of the hill. He is now unconscious. Alexi's now unconscious. The man seems to be Arabelle's father. Turns to you and nods, picking it up again. I am Luvash Petrovic, and you are the first outsiders to have ever entered our camp. You've brought my girl back to me, and though we usually do not believe that those who are not Vistani deserve the same treatment and respect as us, for you are not of the blood. Honor must be observed. You even brought back the other children. He nods to himself, almost like he's thinking. If there's anything I can do for you, outsider, let me know. Right now,
Your brother here lured us here with those damned letters of his. He's gonna be doing us favors for a little while.
Argal looks at Luvash guiltily. Luvash smiles. Says, "Well, I see. I thought that was kind of a stupid plot, but yes, my younger brother is a bit of a fool. You'll have to forgive him. We've only been following the king's desires, so you'll have to forgive us." As Vistana, we cannot go against the king, you understand. But, in other regards, you want information? We are the best place to get it.
Every reign has to come to an end sometime.
I would watch my words if I were you, friend. We are still Vistana, and we are still the subjects of the king. I would advise you to steer conversation away from such talk.
Do the names Gravel, Balin, and Karlov mean anything to you?
Me? No. But I'll ask around.
Those were the other three that were indicted by your daughter and the deaths of the other children. The first being Bluto. Now we have seen to him, and he shall not harm another child.
You have killed him already, then?
In order to save your daughter, yes.
My daughter is my treasure. And so I will share some of my treasure with you. In that, he indicates over here and says, over there, we have some of our stash. You can choose whatever you want.
DM, while all this is happening, Fisk is staying around the horses, just keeping an eye on anybody coming a little too close to the horses.
Yeah, these are great horses, and you do see some of the Vistani are giving them curious looks, but so far no one.
I figured. That's why I'm there.
Closer, although I would like a perception check from you first.
Sure.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. All right.
Luvash begins to walk towards the loot wagon and opens it. Inside, you can see several chests, boxes, and shelves.
We'll walk
Right.
over
Let's see.
and take a look.
Alrighty, let me just pull up the note of what's inside. There's quite a few things here.
You
Those
say you
no-
are a master of. You know a great many things. Information is one thing we do seek.
Hmm. What do you want?
Your relation with the Master of clan.
They are Vistana, and so we keep our distance from them. We Petrovics were the first clan. We were the clan to have caused the Lord to forge his oath to us. Did you know that? We are most favored of all the Vistana. If it wasn't for us, they would be as miserable as any other Barovian. To anyone else, this land is frightening. A curse. Normally, none would dare to lay their hands on a Vistani. It seems the Barovians need a reminder of who are those most beloved to Strahd von Serovic.
Only the ones who were complicit in the murder.
He does not respond.
But how about Nanny? What can you tell her about her?
Sorry, could you repeat that? Cut out for me a little bit. I heard the word nanny, then
Yeah, I can't remember her last name at the moment.
Morgan?
Nanny Morgan, yeah.
oh, Nanny
Anywho.
Morgan. You ran into her, huh? Well, normally we would send you her way and to her daughter's way as a little treat. We are no enemies of her and her daughters. What do you know of them?
Very little, other than I believe they inhabit the windmill and the possibly great bakers. I say that with a little bit of a smirk.
That is certainly true. If you know what's good for you, you will not step any close to that windmill. And I will tell you this because you saved Tarbell. Do not eat those pies.
What's the deal with the pies? I must know. That should be our reward.
Have you noticed the nightmares, yes?
Of course.
Well, people have two ways to deal with it. They can either tough it out, or they can drink themselves into an early grave. However, these pastries, these nice little pastries, filled of meat, they not only rid you of the nightmares, but they also bring you true joy and hope and happiness. Apparently, people will go to quite a great length to get those pastries. They give it to you for free sometimes at first, and then they charge 5 gold, and then they charge 10, 50. Eventually, people can't afford it, but they have to get the next one. They have to get their fix. They sell their possessions. They sell their houses. Eventually, they'll give their children to Nanny Morgan just to get another pastry. That's what they want. They use the children to make these pastries. They grind their bones into the flour. They use their meat for the filling. I hope you don't have any.
I never ate one.
Which
Talmagen begins to be violently sick.
it's Soylent Green.
It's people!
Sweeney Todd shit right there.
Pretty much.
Which children are they using?
Those of Little Barovia, Kresk, some of the smaller villages. Volaki as well, although they have to be a little bit more careful about their business there, I think.
Do the Black Furs have anything to do with this?
Black Furs? I don't know. The werewolves steer very clear from us. We don't really have many dealings with them.
Interesting. Insight check.
Go for it.
Oh,
Danny. Well, seems to be telling the truth as far as you can tell. Though he's a pretty hard man to read, he's certainly shrewd. Even if they were normal, crazy women, that would be bad enough. But however, and their daughters are hags. She is the leader of the coven. Even one single one of them can tear an armored man apart limb from limb with barely any trouble. If you've eaten any of their pastries, then you would be very susceptible to their voice and demands.
glad I didn't eat a pastry.
You did.
One too.
Damn, says Talmagen. I've eaten one.
Didn't you
my
eat
friend,
half of one as well, Honorin?
I'm pretty sure he did, honor him.
My character says no.
Ah,
Well, if someone did happen to eat, is there a way to undo this curse?
let's see. You could. Well, usually people have very difficult time getting. What's the word? Sorry, my comment isn't too strong. Unaddicted? You would need to. If you don't get your next fix, you would be in a lot of suffering. But after. I think after a week, you should be fine. However, that week would be very, very difficult for you.
So it's something that can start with only one, huh?
One is all you need.
Have you ever had one?
Once, as a young man, I did not know what was inside.
You know, they're taking children, just like these Barovians took your children. I think that makes them just as bad.
Barovians are the same as pigs and cows. They are not really people. What does it
What
mean?
if I thought that when I was going to save your girl?
Then she would have been dead. Vistana are different from Barovians.
Not to me.
You will learn you are wrong. But that is neither here nor there. Go on, outsiders. Choose your reward. And I do need to post that, so let me just see. So you guys see what looks like several. Well, you guys see what looks to be a couple of. Okay, you see a wooden chest containing um, uh, a lot of some Barovian gold. By your estimate, it's about 1,000 or so. An iron chest, also containing gold and a few diamonds. You probably guess there's easily at least 700 gold and 600 gold, and the diamonds are worth at least 600, judging by their size. You see a small closed jewelry box. You see a wooden throne with gold inlay and decorative stones. You see a rolled up rug. And you can sort of tell that there's a unicorn on it. It's very exquisitely made. And you see a small potion box with about 6 potions inside. In addition to that, you see a weapon rack and an armor rack. The weapon rack holds a polearm, a spear, and a morning star. The armor rack is empty, save for the head, where a helmet decorated with red velvet is posited.
Sorry, just a helmet.
Just a helmet.
So indecisive.
The weaponry is all enchanted. That helmet is enchanted as well. And that carpet with the unicorn is also enchanted.
What is this carpet?
Not too sure what it does.
Give me 10 minutes.
We stole it without knowing what it does. It simply looked expensive.
Oh, we should let him find out then.
DM, was he offering us everything, or were we to pick?
As in, choose one of these things, not everything.
Okay.
So you can choose the chest of 1,000 gold, like one each, or
No, like one chest of 1,000 gold.
like we get one item each, or as a party we get to pick one item.
As a party, you get to choose.
Okay.
What were the potions?
Let's see. There were 6 potions. You're not sure what they are.
Oh, that's what we're talking about with the.
Oh, you're asking. Oh, you're asking him. Sorry. Well, I think. Let's see. Invisibility potions. It made to help us infiltrate better. Although I'm pretty sure one of them is of greater invisibility.
I'll go over to Tarmagen and I'll ask him for his little magic tool to speed up the ritual casting times.
Almagen gladly lends it to you.
Just for today, friend. Just for today, Chris.
Alrighty,
I'll give it
I
back.
think that's everything. The quest channel.
Never sees it again.
Oh, right. And let me see.
So when you say a throne, like an actual
Yeah, an actual
chair?
throne. Yeah.
Nice. Could always use one of these.
Would you allow me to take a look at the carpet?
He does a go-ahead gesture.
I'll go on and I'll identify it. It takes 5 minutes.
Alrighty, this is the carpet of the unicorn. Using this carpet, you can summon a unicorn to your side. The unicorn's name is Feilaren. It is friendly to you and your companion. Once the unicorn is summoned, it will stay for a minute, and then it will return to the fairy wild.
Wow.
Okay. Does it grant magical wishes while it exists?
I mean, you can roll me an Arcana check and see if you know that unicorns do that.
Would I know anything about that? Since I'm from the
Yeah,
Feywild?
I'd say you can roll me a nature check with advantage. For you, it would be a nature check. So go ahead. Oh, that's
Seems
Arcana
like
16.
the funnest item in the package for sure.
Then yeah, Vance, you're not quite sure. You know that unicorns are pretty cool, although you haven't seen one yourself. They're extremely. Oh, Chris. Hello. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hey, Chris. Good news. You've eaten a
What's up?
child. You've eaten a
Again?
child pastry, a child cake.
Lovely.
Yeah, so it turns out your mind is compromised, and
can't
the
fight.
lovely ladies are hags, and basically, you are now susceptible to their commands.
Of course.
Alrighty, so
Grappling
Honorin,
hook.
you rolled a 16, I believe, correct?
Correct.
Alrighty. You know that unicorns are very magical creatures from the Feywild. They're very intelligent. They're as intelligent as people. They can speak. They can use telepathy. They're lawful good. You know they're pretty powerful, and they're pretty powerful magical creatures. And having one aid you would be pretty important. Even if it just stays for a minute, it's going to be a fairly significant minute.
That's a long combat round. And can you resummon them every day, or is it a one-time?
It seems that you can resummon him once per day.
Wow.
All right. I'll take a look at that helmet then next.
Alrighty.
Just doing finger signs, chanting, looking at armor and rugs.
Let me see. The helmet. Where is my helmet? There it is. Alrighty. This is the helmet of the Desert King. 3 times per long rest, you can summon a sandstorm to defend you. The helmet summons 3 sand storms in 10-foot spaces. Any creature passing through these must roll a con or be all roll with disadvantage for attacks until their next turn. Inside these sandstorms is difficult terrain.
All right, I'll relay that to the party. Although I already know which one I would like, I would be remiss if I did not take a look at the Morning Star and the polearm.
All right. The Morning Star has an interesting design. You can see the head is blue um, and steel. This is called the Tontios. As an action with this, as a bonus action, you can activate this weapon to envelop it with electricity.
Oh.
It deals an additional 1d6 lightning for 5 strikes until reactivated with a bonus action. Is a +1. This weapon can be used to cast Shocking Grasp. That's the Morning Star. And let's see, what do we have left?
So it basically turns you into Urgle.
The pole
God
arm.
damn.
2 Urgles.
Urgle number 2. It's so fitting, but I can already dish out so much lightning damage too.
This is the King Guard's pole arm. Let me see my notes here. Yes. Okay. This is a +2 weapon with a 10-foot reach.
Wow.
The user can cast the Enlarge Self spell to become huge, not large, huge, dealing 1d6 additional damage.
Once per day, twice per day.
And it can be done twice per day.
Chuck.
Alrighty, I think that's all the magical things.
Well, I know what my vote is for. Anyone in doubt?
What are we thinking?
Yeah. I'm gonna call out and say if we have an opportunity to have a unicorn on our side during battle, we don't want to pass that up. They're an amazing creature from the Feywild.
I agree. But that pole arm, though.
You're not allowed to kill it. Theirs. It's not a trophy.
No, I would be killed myself if I killed a unicorn. They're holy symbols practically where I come from.
Really? Well, I think we'll take the rug.
Anyone disagree?
Guys, 1 second, guys. Our fiance needs my help at the moment.
Anyone disagree?
I don't think so. I'm gonna wish I had taken that pole arm, but it's okay. The unicorn is amazing for all of us.
Is this a pick your treasure situation?
Apparently, I'm getting some pretty good shit for
There's a
saving
lot
these
of money.
kids.
So basically, your choice is between a lot of money, some money, and a diamond. Diamonds are pretty important in resurrection spells and revival spells. A electric morning star. With it gives also the shock and gas cantrip if you don't know it, or then I'll say if you do know shocking grasp, it probably empowers it.
Neat. All right. I'm just observing. Just pretend I'm not here.
Yeah, I had Tomajan probably throw up in disgust after he found out.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so there's the
Kids.
electric morning star. There's the money. There's the money of the diamond. There's 5 potions of invisibility plus 1 of greater invisibility. There is a magical polearm that is a +2 weapon and can use enlarged self to become huge twice a day. And
Hey, Chuck.
yeah, the throne with golden stones. The throne looks probably to be worth the most in terms of straight up money. A helmet that you can use to summon blinding sandstorms that count as difficult terrain 3 times a day, 3 of them. So that's 3 with each casting, so that's 9 overall every day. And the rug that allows you to summon a unicorn by the name of Feylaren for a minute per day.
Ooh. Yeah, I think the unicorn wins it.
Yeah.
We'll pick it up.
Bit of purity in Barovia. All messing things up.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Like, this would not look out of place in a very expensive shop or a king's palace.
Of course.
I'll pass it to
guys taking
Urgel.
it? Yeah.
Stuff it in the old bag of holding.
Like, now that you've picked it,
We have made our decision, Luvash. Thank you.
it serve you well. We've not used it ourselves. You don't trust creatures of the Feywild. Right. What are your plans from here, then? Are you still going to the bakery?
I think we have some decisions to make and some discussions. If we knew of a way to rid ourselves or our party member of that curse.
We have to go somewhere else for a week. So the only way to go is the Wizards of Wines.
No, it's the Wizards of Wines, huh? Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of druidical movement toward that place last few days.
Forest people.
Yeah. Who knows what druids wants? Bunch of weirdos, if you ask me.
They're not normal people.
Enjoy.
Not really.
What do you know of them?
Usually they give us our space, although I know that they worship the Lord Strahd even more than we do.
Ugh.
They are the originators of the phrase. He is the ancient, he is the land. I believe it is that second part of that phrase that causes them to worship him so much. Sometimes we trade with them. Not too often, though.
about your relationship with the Crusaders of the Sun, I would be guessing they aren't exactly cordial.
With who?
The Crusaders of the Sun.
Looks to Aragal, who shrugs. Never heard of them. There's some more adventures that you trapped in here, Aragal. Aragal shakes his head. They don't seem to know who you're referring to.
I'll leave it at that. Is there anything you can tell us about the Scarecrow watching Castle Ravenloft from afar?
Oh, 1 second, guys. Sorry, my fiance needs my help again. I'll be right quick.
Info dump. What else do we need to ask him about?
Well, that scarecrow is pretty old. I don't really know much about it myself. But you could always ask Cassamir if he'll see you. Cassamir's one old bastard.
Is that name familiar?
Oh, I don't think it is. Seeing the blank look further, Cassamir is one of the oldest dusk elves who's still around. The poor eunuchs tend to eventually die of being too depressing, but he seems to have stuck around.
And when we
See ya.
find this Cassamir?
And his hovel's in the back. We Petrovics have taken the dusk elves under our wing. But partially, basically, this is the only way they can still survive in Barovia, by serving us. Although we mostly leave Cassamir to his, how you say, devices.
Anything else, anyone?
We'd better go. Short on time. We appreciate your help.
Did you want to meet with Cassamir or...
Yes.
Alright. I'll just warn you, he is one bitter old man. Right. Alright, my love. You go inside and get yourself fed and cleaned, alright? But father, I want to keep the company. I'm bored. No. I want to make sure that you're okay. But I spoke, Arabelle. She looks to you guys and says, "Thanks again for not letting me die. I appreciate that."
Try to stay out of trouble.
No. And she walks into the main tent. Luvash nods and says, "Right, follow me. Argal, you make sure that she does as I say. You got it." Argal enters the tent as well, and Luvash begins leading you guys off the hill. Varys and Fisk. Fisk, you're still with the horses, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Fisk. Kind of maintaining your vigil. Looking around, occasionally glancing at the horses. And then you realize that there's like a sound like, a brush going through. Like, shh. 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 Look around. You see a woman in dark clothing with a red scarf around her neck, casually brushing, I believe, Honorim's horse. You didn't see her approach. You didn't hear anything at all. She smiles to you and say, "Greetings, Tabaxi. Is this your horse?"
That one, yes. Why does it brush it?
Because I like horses. You look like you need a bit of a brush too. She indicates with a smile towards where you were licked in your face before, where your fur is still sticking up. It actually dried out in the cold, so now it's really sticking out.
What does it want?
Just making sure you're good people. Taking care of your horses. I always believe that a man's worth is judged by how he treats those who cannot raise their voice to him. And these horses tell me that although they didn't know you all for very long, they like you already. Brush, brush.
I point to the horse.
It is Bannerus.
A lovely name.
What is yours?
I believe the name I'll give you tonight is Coin Edge.
What is this? Is this human?
Huh? Yeah, it's a woman. It's just the style of the token. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean, I'm asking, like, what does Fisk see? Is she human? Is she?
You see that she's a human. She's wearing black leather with some red highlights and a red woolen scarf. You can see that she has a few like daggers, like throwing knives around her belt. A wicked-looking, what you call it? Damn, a wicked-looking kukri on one hip, and a chakram on the other.
It is an outsider.
No, I am Vistani.
Outsider weapon.
You forget, my Tabaxi friend. We Vistana are not limited to Barovia. We travel in and out of the mists as freely as you once could travel anywhere else freely outside of the mists. Do you miss the hot deserts of Tarkir, my friend? I imagine you would, since this place is so cold.
Never seen them.
I did think that your accent was non-Tarkirian. Brush, brush.
Keeping a watch on her hands.
You see, you're looking at her hands, you can see that they're heavily tattooed with swirling blue symbols.
Is it alone?
No. I have these horses here and you with me as well. Pulse kind of nudges this one, wanting to be brushed as well. So
I
tell
walk
me.
back to her on all fours.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of pace around her as I'm looking at her, looking up, kind of sniff her boots and sniff her cloak.
You can smell blood, dried old blood from both of them.
You had just seen battle.
Hmm. Quite recently, too. I am, I suppose you could say, an assassin, you see. And I've just come back to say hello to my dear old grandmother. Nasty job it was, but keeps me sharp. How about it, Tabaxi? Do you need somebody killed?
We do our own.
I can imagine. What is your name, Tabaxi?
We are Fisk.
Peace. You know, in the language of the Ankaran people, the first syllable of your name, Fis, means murderer. But the second, Ka, is their term for sky. You are, in their language, the murderer of skies. They believe that names carry a lot of power for an individual's fate. So tell me, Mr. Fisk, is there... Are you planning to murder any sky or sky gods? Perhaps those who rule the sky?
How do you use murder? Assassin.
Oh, in many ways. In many ways. It's very simple, honestly. Knife to the throat, or one to the eye.
I
If I
hold up
can't
a
have
hand.
my weapons, all I need to
I,
do is simply come behind someone and
I hold
put
up a
me on.
hand, Hopper.
Yes.
Murder
Murder.
is in the eye of the beholder.
She gives a chuckle. I think we've both murdered too many people to know that that's not true. When you take a life, it is a murder. You can dance around the reason why, but a life taken is a life. Although I do not think that murder is a dirty word. It is as natural as breathing. In fact, not murdering is what is unnatural. It is a sacred act. And I know you know that too, in a way. You've felt it, haven't you? I can tell. It wafts off you. You are steeped in darkness, my friend. I am drawn to that.
A step
Please.
closer to her.
She smiles pleasantly.
We think it confuses murder and killing.
Am I?
They are not the same. Not the same.
You are simply adorable in your naivety. Intoxicating in it almost. She walks around the horse as she speaks and disappears from view as she steps into its shadow. I'll keep an eye out on you, Mr. Fisk, who is not a murderer, but a killer. And her laughter dissipates.
Check the horses, see if anything's missing.
Nope, nothing's missing.
I just sit, keep vigil.
Alrighty. You do notice, actually, as you're sitting on the horse. Are you sitting on the horse?
No, I'm
You
on the
know,
ground.
okay. I'll say that you do notice that each of the horses has had a small blue flower kind of weaved into their mane.
I pulled the one off Banrus. Smell it.
It smells sour and metallic.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Ready. I think, guys, what we're gonna do is we're going to take our break, and then we're going to resume to Luvash leading the party to Cassamir.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alrighty. In that case, we shall begin as the party is being led towards one of the hovels built into the side of the hill. Let me see. So right now I'm only seeing Lugal following Luvash. Did the rest of you follow as well? Honor and Varys?
Yes.
Fisk, I'm guessing you with the horses.
Yep.
Okay. I'm guessing Tarmagen actually would be following as well, of course. The one.
Hey, real quick, just so because I was sort of when Fisk had originally said that he was going to wait with the horses, I intentionally stayed sort of in the middle, just to sort of does that range. Would I have seen any of that, or I'm assuming I didn't because
Sorry, Eric. You're roboting on me pretty hard. Could you try setting your connection? Yeah.
It's good on my end.
Yeah, he was on my end too.
Yeah, it might be
Crystal
something. Yeah, it might be a problem with my end then. Okay, hold on. I'll disconnect and reconnect.
Actually, the audio and video quality is pretty good.
Yeah, it does seem boosted.
Yeah, by the way, thanks. Yeah, thank you for whispering. That was fucking amazing.
yeah.
Thank you. I can hear everybody so much more clearly.
I was just I was just saying that I stayed sort of in between. I'm assuming I did not see, because I was focused on, picking unicorns, that I did that. That was sort of a background story with Fisk and the assassin, correct?
You could have seen that happen, actually, since you're in a higher vantage point. You had the high ground, and so you would have been able to see it. Yeah, you would have seen
Okay.
Fisk conversing with this lady, and from your point of view, she did something that Fisk does, that you have been noticing Fisk does recently, and that's literally meld into shadow and disappear.
Okay. So where are these other people going? They're going down south of the map.
South of the map is where Luvash, the leader of the Vistani here, is leading Talmagen and Orgal, and I think Honoram as well.
Okay. I'm just gonna stay right here.
Okay. At least Vash says, as you guys are being led, Vash says, the Dusk Elves sorrowful lot. You know the story of what happened to them.
No.
Well, I'm sure old Cassamir would love to tell you himself. As he walks over here, the Dusk Elves here bristle for a moment. Luvash gestures with her hand, and they, after a moment's hesitation, move aside. Luvash opens the door. Right, you crusty old fool. We got some visitors for you. Luvash gestures for you to enter.
Oh, wow.
Let me give you a little bit of a close-up of his face.
Ooh.
You guys see a man, an elf with gray skin with a horrific scar from forehead to cheek and slashing his nose in between. One of his eyes is completely full of blood, as in the inside of it is. He looks shrunken almost by age, and the atmosphere in here is like that of a burial home. What do you want with me, outsider? I am just a broken man. They got questions for you, Cassamir. They are my guests. He lifts up his hands as if to say, there's nothing I can say or do to prevent you from asking your questions. What do you want from me?
We were told you had stories to tell.
I have lived in this land since before the mists were here. My people still remember the seas that once bordered the south of this land. The rolling plains that our people wandered. The forests were so much larger and full of life. What story do you wish me to tell?
Were you here before Strahd?
Ha! I was here before the Von Zerviks even united this land, before they changed its name to Barovia.
What was
Intelligence.
its?
Sorry.
I was saying, what was its original name?
Just grab my note here. Let me see.
DM goes silent.
I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it properly. Its original name was Lazaria.
Sorry.
Yes, named by one of the greatest of my kind, Lazar, the hero.
DM intelligence check to see if I can figure out how old this guy would be.
That would be a nature check, I'd say.
I'm trying to go off if he's been here before Strahd, if I know how long Strahd's been around.
I think you previously learned that Strahd has been around for at least 470 years, as far as you know.
Jesus.
Or he's very, very old.
So you are saying you are over 500 years old?
Yes. I live because I am cursed. Would it that I have been able to leave this horrific life like my brethren, my sisters, my daughters, my mother. But no, I am cursed to continue living here.
And the source of your curse? Is that a story you can tell?
I wish to not say. It is a source of shame to me.
Fair enough.
Well, now that you're sitting close to him, you can see that he has bandages on his hands all the way up to his arms. And that his arms look extremely skeletal thin. Have you questions for me about the time before Strahd? About how the Dark Lord fell? How he went from prince to tyrant?
Do you mind if we have a seat? This sounds like a long and incredibly fascinating story.
You are guests of Luvash. Without Luvash and his people, we would have been prey to the wolves and to the king's minions long ago.
I realize we are guests of Luvash, but we would rather be guests of Cassamir.
Sit down.
Sit down and shut up. I'll pull out a chair from underneath the table and sit. And I'm
Long ago. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say I'm gonna take pay incredible attention to what he's saying and commit it to memory.
Alrighty. He thinks for a moment. Begins to speak. Long ago, This land was ruled by several kingdoms, city-states, villages, and towns dotted the landscape. This land was also much larger, at least back in the day. When Barovia was Lazaria, it was still a brutal place, but we were not trapped here. The sun still shone, and our people were numerous and strong. Then, one of the kingdoms had a son, a firstborn, King Barov, Queen Ravanovia, gave birth to their firstborn son, Strahd. Strahd was well liked by many of his peers. I remember at the time, my brother and I were simple foot soldiers working for the von Zarovics. Sighs as he thinks. I remember admiring the young lord at the time. He was a curious boy, athletic, likable. Although he was still rather spoiled, at least to my thinking. Soon, Strahd became a man. He joined his father's armies and excelled in tactics. He became his father's foremost general, and in fact, came up with the idea of unification. Using his tactical genius and his talent with a blade and spell, Strahd unified the land of Barovia for his father. This, however, was not easy. One kingdom conquering 6 took a long time, and by the time this happened, Strahd von Zarovic was a man grown. I believe it was in his 40th year that his brother Sergei was to be wed. Sergei was much younger than Strahd, 12 or 14 years or so. Not as popular as his older brother, the hero, protected Barovia from barbarian hordes, who unified her, who put an end to the nobles' war of assassins. But still, Sergei was also a priest of the Morning Lord. At the time, a small cult, at least here in Barovia. I am not quite sure what happened after that. All I know is that the day of the wedding is when the house of Von Zarovic fell and rose again. Sergei and his new wife, to be Tatiana, were killed. From what I heard, Strahd was killed as well. But then, mists came, swallowing everything, and with them, the dead began to rise. Soon enough, we found out what happened, at least partially. That Strahd was also killed at the wedding, but then rose again as a vampire, as a god, and began murdering all those who ever opposed him. He rampaged across Barovia, which he named after his father all those years ago after unifying it, tearing apart the very land he swore to protect. When this ended, only a handful of towns and villages remained standing. Most people were dead, and the mists shrouded everything. Our people were not sure what to do. My own brother, I call him brother, but he became Strahd's right-hand man, and King Barov's before him, while I stayed a lowly foot soldier. But Arigal, sorry, not Arigal, my apologies, I messed up the name, but Rahadin always knew how to kiss ass. Although I'll admit he wasn't shabby with that blades of his. Soon, we Daskells learned of that Strahd is now the new king of Barovia, and we've learned that he's been entangled with the darkness. He hesitates and seems to consider something as he looks at you guys very closely. I have my suspicions on how exactly Strahd became a vampire, but that is not a secret that I wish to share as of yet. Anyways,
how could we persuade you?
I will finish my story, and then I will let you know of a way that you can convince me.
Okay.
If this... Right, where was I? My mind has been going with the years.
Your brother Rahadin was good with a sword, but he's a bit of a stuck-up.
You'd think he would claim to come out of Ravenovia's womb himself for how he was walking around, calling himself Strahd's right-hand man. Although, I know that Strahd loved him like a brother. He was closer to him than any other man. And after Strahd became the Dark King of Barovia, Rahadin became his general. Right. I had a sister, Katrina. She wished to become Strahd's wife. She claimed to be able to change him, to control him, to fix him. At least to me, privately, is what she said that. To the others of our clan, she put up a front of acceptance and even love to Strahd, saying that he is now the true king of Barovia, saying that those who died in his rampage deserved it, as if he was purging Barovia of those who were unfit to be under his rule. I'm not sure to this day why she said that. Perhaps to win Strahd's ear? Perhaps she thought that he would love her more if she said this kind of things. My people were not happy with that. We have lost many. And so, they stoned Petrina to death. Strahd did not like that. He sent my own brother to put an end to us. In the night, Rahadin came with his soldiers, and he slaughtered every single female dusk elf. Every single one. None was spared. There is a tree at the edge of the forest, a tree stump. It's cut down now, but he used that tree to smash the heads of our children. I can still remember their screams, the sound their skulls made as they cracked against the tree's bark. He shudders. I can still remember the look on my mother's face as my brother drove the knife into her chest. I can remember the look on Rahadin's eyes as he castrated me. He looked at me like I was an insect. You see a tear coming out, like tears start to stream out of his one undamaged eye. He has become as much of a monster as Strahd. That is what I think. Most of my people remaining, the men, many killed themselves. A people that once numbered in the thousands now numbers a handful. I would dare say there's less than 100 Dusk Elves remaining in Barovia. Perhaps less. That is the story of my people.
How utterly horrid.
He nods as he wipes the tears that have gathered at the corner of his mouth. We are the last Dusk Elves. Once we pass away to madness, disease, or murder, there will never be any more of our kind, anywhere.
I'm confused though. Why would you be here with Luvash and his people when they clearly serve Strahd?
No other choice. We were declared open for slaughter. If we had not begged the Vistani for their protection, we would have been hunted down like pigs.
Who made this declaration, and why would they do that?
Strahd, to punish us for our hubris of taking away a potential concubine from him. I don't think he even cared about my sister. He just cared that we killed someone who was going to present herself to him.
Does Strahd even know that Luvash is protecting you? Hiding you?
He knows. I believe he does, at least. He knows that we live as little better than slaves.
He's content to see you live in misery, subjugated, like common rats.
That's exactly right. Do you see the scar? That was not given to me by my brother or by Strahd. This was given to me by Luvash's own father for asking him to spare my son from the lash.
And Rahadin, where is he?
He is still at Strahd's side. He is a steward now. I have not seen him since that night.
Does Strahd have any weaknesses?
He hesitates.
I'm gonna lean into him and very quietly whisper, "We have no love for Strahd. In fact, you could say it is exactly the opposite. Any help that you are able to provide us may go a long way in settling some scores."
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Please, please.
It's not very good. Ooh. Phew. It was on a 1 and it rolled over.
He seems to take a moment to think. Not a weakness that I know of. In this land, he is quite literally a demigod. I can even recall times when adventurers from outside and within, rarely, maybe twice before, managed to slay him temporarily, although he came back and dealt death to them. I know, however, that such power does not come naturally. It is my belief that Strahd made a pact with the dark powers here in Barovia. And I believe through these pacts and rituals that he's made is why he's so powerful and why he's so impossible to kill. That is my belief, however. I will tell you no more than this, at least for the moment. Not at least until I know that you can survive.
I appreciate your trust that you've given to us in telling us what you have so far.
I'll tell you this. If you kill Rahadin, I will tell you where the dark forces, where the powers are located, where the temple is. I believe that that is where Strahd forged his pacts. His first ones, at least. See his teeth chattering, and he shudders. Kill Rahadin, and I will take you to the Amber Temple.
Am I
Would
to
he
guess?
be at the castle?
I think so. Although, I wouldn't know for sure.
Are we to assume that he too is a devil of the night, a vampire, undead himself?
It is probably safe to assume. Although, I can't say for certain. I grow tired.
One last thing. If you possibly know, there stands a scarecrow in front of Castle Ravenloft along the road on a hill, cursed.
Ah, yes. The only person in Barovia with an existence more miserable than ours. Queen Ravenovia. It is said. Well, I wasn't there for it, but this is something we found out later. What happened was that Ravenovia, Strahd's mother, she had a difficult birth, and so she called upon a local midwife, a village wise woman. Lysaga. Lysaga aided the queen in the birth. It is said, or at least those of us who lived in the palace saw it, that when Lysaga held the baby Strahd, she was the one who named him. It is said that she fell in love with the baby, seeing him as her own child. She also was the one who breastfed him, as Queen Ravenovia was unable to do so, weakened as she was by the birth. Some believe that when Strahd invited Ravenovia to his new castle, Ravenloft, and the queen's carriage fell off the side of the cliff. Some say that a curse was put on her by Lysaga. That Lysaga was secretly a witch. That she was so jealous that she killed Strahd's real birth mother. And that she trapped her soul in that scarecrow. I went there up once myself, and I tell you, the scarecrow's face looks exactly like the queen's. Even that dress was like that the queens used to wear. I don't know if that scarecrow is exactly Queen Ravenovia, if it has her soul, or if it's simply a cursed object of some kind, of some other nature. But that is what I know of it.
Oof.
The poor thing can't even be put out of its misery. Unlike us.
Interesting. Well, thank you for that. filling in the pieces. Knowledge is power against Strahd. And we are becoming more powerful day by day.
Unless you can sever his cycles of reincarnation and kill him permanently, nothing you can do matters. I only told you this, my stories, because you asked. Do not mistake that for me trying to give you hope. For there is none in Barovia. Now, please, if you have no more questions, then please leave me be. I go tired. And the things we spoke of have darkened my spirit.
For that, I apologize. Urgo, anything further?
No, I think that's fine. We'll return if we ever meet Rahadin in our travels.
With the knife, if you can. Although, I warn you, he is not Strahd's general for nothing. He is deadly and dangerous. And I have seen him, I've heard of him tearing apart seasoned adventurers by himself.
Thank you for your time. I'll get up, push the chair back in.
May your ends be swift and painless.
Oh, gosh. Thank you.
Well, had enough of his whining, says Luvash.
Oh,
You guys exit.
I'll whisper. How long has his mind been gone? He rambles. It makes no sense.
Long before I was born, that's for certain.
Poor man.
I wouldn't feel too sorry for these dusk elves if I was you. They earned what their fate, and he walks up to this one and just kind of, gives him that little, like slap on it, not the painful slap, but like the kind of slap you give someone you don't really respect on the face. The dusk elf merely casts his eyes down. Luvash laughs. Right, let's get you people out of my face. I want to eat and sleep. Right, you've taken your reward. Honor has been paid and observed thoroughly. You've gotten information. I want you to leave now. This is not your place.
Back to the horses then.
Alrighty, so does anybody do anything before you guys head back to the road?
Just give him a stiff nod and head back to the horses.
Alrighty. Okay. Let me move you. As you guys are. You see that the Vistani are all following you with their gazes and kind of hushed discussions with each other as you guys head back towards the trees the way you came. So, where would you guys like to go now? You guys are very close to Valaki if you wanted to do something there, or you guys could head anywhere really.
Where should we ride?
Oh. I'm not sure. My mind is in turmoil, thinking of what we've just been told. Trying to plot the best course of action. I'm at a loss, actually.
I know as we're running out of time.
I'll fill Fisk and Varys in to our complete encounter and what was said. Thoughts, Fisk?
So we don't go to Windmill. Ptarmigan is affected.
I am affected.
It might be suicide to go there now. Especially with werewolves awaiting for us to come out.
Give it at least a week on that.
Then
Does Bassoon have a week, though?
we go to Mother Lucia. Tell her where we go. See if she can help until then.
That might be our best bet. Varys, thoughts?
I thought we were going to the windmill so that we could help Urgel's friend.
Yes, Bassoon.
That's what
The issue
we're
is
looking for powerful magical artifacts, which one might be there, and one might be at the Wizard of the Wines.
Where's the Wizard of the Wines?
I believe it's pretty far. It's on the north side, I think?
west.
Oh,
Far
bottom left.
Or west. Well, if Bassoon needs all three pots, does it matter what order we get them in?
I think he only needs one. But we need as many as we can get.
And now, of course, we know that the kindly old ladies are not kindly old ladies, but vicious hags. Protected by a werewolf clan who could possibly control thoughts of myself and Tomlington.
Maybe. We've been here for how long? We were told that the effects can last maybe a week before they start to wear off. How long have we been in this shithole?
I just ate it like yesterday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah, you're fucked.
Yeah,
They
when we were
killing
camped.
kids.
When we were camped, I had one. and I only ate half though, and I gave the other half to Tarmagin. So Tarmagin has technically eaten 1.5. I've only eaten a half,
I see.
if that matters. He's got more children in his belly than I do.
We do have to absolutely kill them, but I don't know how we're gonna do it now. Like, have to lure them away.
We use the
Okay.
time. We use travel. To Wizard of Wines. For them.
I point to Honorum and Tarmagin.
When we come back. Windmill.
I think it's our only choice.
For that, I apologize.
It's not your fault.
They didn't know. We didn't know.
Back to Vallaki and see if Mother Lucia can help with the side effects. Night at home, and then perhaps make our way.
Make our way.
Yes.
Tarmagin.
I agree. So is the consensus is to return to Vallaki?
Briefly.
Alright. Okay, as you guys lead the horses, it is starting to get. Let me see, what time was it when you guys all started? It's starting to get dark. It's like 5 p.m. No, it's like 4 p.m. It's starting to get a little bit dark. By the time you guys make it back out, the guards who already recognize you by now let you in with no fuss, no muss. Alright, you guys are back inside Vallaki with your horses. Where would you like to go?
Mother Lucia, the church.
Perhaps she could tell us more about these pastries once we tell her what's in them.
And Tarmagin and
Alrighty.
I, so for sure should go. I mean, we don't all have to go if any of you have something else you'd rather do.
You could tell Irina of the pastries. Keep them out of the city.
Yeah.
If we can.
That's a good idea.
If could just submit a report to the guards now, I suppose. I could bring her a message for us.
That is possible if we assume we can trust them.
Don't know them. Trust is earned.
Oh, I'm going to see Mother Lucia. And I
Alrighty. Alrighty.
I'm gonna
as you
stop in this tavern on the way and take a bio break, and I'll say I'll meet you at Mother Lucia's here in just a couple minutes.
Okie As you enter, the church, Sans Verse, Let me move you guys to the appropriate map. Yeah, you guys can see that Mother Lucia is currently in prayer, along with former Wactor guard, who was infected by his weird condition. After a few, okay. She can see her turn her head. She nods to you with a smile as she continues speaking. After a few minutes, seems that she finishes her prayer. The guard, you guys can see the guards, nods to you and gets to his knees awkwardly, patting his pants down and helps her up as well. Well, thank you, Mother. I'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow again. Lanslav. The guard makes his way out past you guys, not meeting your gaze. As Mother Lucia turns to you all, you can see she has deep bags under her eyes of lack of sleep. But she looks genuinely happy to see us. She descends the stairs and looks at you guys contentedly. Welcome back, everyone. It is good to see you all in good health.
You as well. Look like they're keeping you busy around here.
The rehallowing of the stones is a difficult and arduous process, I'm afraid. It is taking quite a lot out of me, but I have hope for the future. At the moment, at least the church is completely hallowed once more, if not all of Valaki. But I believe that the influence is very slowly beginning to spread. Weakly, at least, but any dark creature that steps into Valaki at the moment should be at least inconvenienced.
Well, it's a step in the right direction.
Certainly is. Myself and the children no longer have the nightmares once again.
I can't wait till I stop having them too.
It is my hope that all of Valaki will once again be spared the nightmares once I finish my work, although I understand that their frequency is somewhat decreasing. So it means that my work is having some effect. And it is all thanks to you and the sacrifices you've made.
So, we have a bit of a problem.
What is it?
Have you heard of old women selling pastries around the countryside?
Oh, yes, the Lannery sisters and their mother, yes. They've been by the church a few times, I think. Their pastries are quite delicious.
What they're doing is wrong.
What's that, sorry?
Something in those pastries.
Her face grows serious. What do you mean?
According to someone within the Vistani, there are children going into those pastries.
Children going... What?
There's a reason you feel so good after eating them.
Oh, God. She shivers. Are you quite certain? That is horrible.
I don't see why anyone would make something like that up. Something was always slightly off around them. And you remember Tomas, right?
Of course I do.
He said there was something off about them when he met them. He had a sense for those kind of things.
Saint Andral preserve us. People should be made aware. Their pastries arrive here monthly.
I must put a stop to it.
God.
And the other problem we have is 2 of my companions here have eaten some. And apparently it can have long-term effects on your mind.
I see. I can try to dispel this effect if you wish. Although I cannot promise that it will succeed.
I hate to ask something of you at this time, but if you could try.
It is my duty and my honor to help. To help you, of course. Have you all eaten it then, or you said 2 of you? Which ones? Damagen steps forward. Guilty as charged.
That fool over there and this incredibly smart fool over here.
All right. I've invested a lot of my spell casting abilities today into the ritual that is required to rehollow the bones, but I will do what I can. Mr. Anrim, I will attempt with you first. Your hand, if you please. Anrim, do you give her your hand?
I extend my hand.
Right. She takes it. You can feel that her hand is cold. Like, not cold like death cold, but like cold like, bad circulation kind of. And I'm going to roll, and you see, but it starts gently becoming warmer as light begins to radiate from her hand and from her eyes. And I'm going to roll something hiddenly for Mother Lucia. Let's see how she does. Holy shit, that's a natural 20. Anrim, you begin vomiting violently. It feels like the bottom of your stomach is being crushed from the inside. And you guys see, and as you finish, you see like this small black tadpole flip-flopping in the pool of vomit in front of Anrim.
Fisk stepped on it, like pounces on it and squashes it under his hand.
Oh, thank you.
You see sweat dripping down Mother Lucia's face as she's panting. That was a success. I didn't think I'd be able to do it. Whatever spell they used is powerful indeed. Right. But it does show that it can be undone.
Should you?
By the way, Honorim, you can remove that thing I told you to add last time from yourself.
Mother Lucia, would you like to try him in the morning? To rest first?
No, my child. I can at least attempt to do it once more. But I thank you for your concern. There is a chance that if the longer this is allowed to remain, the more powerful it will take. Your hand, Mr. Talmagen, if you please. Talmagen extends his hand, looking apprehensive. Mother Lucia, Steadies her breath. As light begins once again, slowly this time, emanating from her hands and eyes. Ah! She draws her hands back as if burned, and you can see smoke coming from them. Ah. Oh, puppet stuffing. I am sorry. I failed. The curse is much harder to remove on you, Mr. Ptarmigan. Hold on. Ptarmigan looks troubled. I see, it is... Thank you for trying, Mother Lucia. As I'm completely butchering Chris's voice. I will attempt once again in the morning. In the meantime, if you wish, you can stay here in the church. You will be able to avoid the nightmares completely if you do.
I think that would be good for me.
Excellent. Certainly. I'll see. I believe the children are already asleep, but I'll get the... She gets a little woozy and takes a few shaking steps as she sits down on the bench.
I can help myself.
Thank you there. Simply go into my room there in the inside closet. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it. I'm not as young as I once was.
I'll go
Alrighty.
grab it.
Yeah, the door over here isn't locked. And it seems that she's, from what you can see, she left her door open. As you walk into her room over here, you can see a lot of different scrolls and books open in piles all around, like the bed and the table. It seems that she's currently undertaking a lot of research into removing curses, into dispelling evil magic, and cursed wounds.
What an incredible woman.
Alrighty, yeah. Soon enough, you find the closet she was talking about. It has clean linen inside it, and more extra pillows and such.
Can you put me in the room?
Oh, yeah, sure. Sorry, Eric, didn't realize you were back. Let's see, Varys, here you are. So, you guys are staying here for the night?
I am, at least.
Alrighty. Yeah. Hey guys. You can hear the Fisk, from where you are, you can hear the gentle snores of the kids from their bedroom.
Guess I'll just lay out a sheet in here.
You can see, in Fiskia, you can see Victoria washing her hands in the sink. She doesn't seem to notice you as you're there. She's humming a song to herself under her breath. Right.
How are they?
Oh, God! Don't do that! You can see that she like partially transformed her arm into a raven's wings with raven's wing. Out of startlement. It's only you, Mr. Fisk. Welcome back. You're fine. Much better now that there's no more nightmares. Much, much better.
Do not tell them we are here.
They had quite a full day. I was not planning on waking them, but she smiles.
We leave in the morning.
Your talk last time gave them so much hope. It is rare to see hope on the face of a child here in Barovia. On anyone's face, really. Thank you. I wish you luck in all your endeavors.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. So, is there any? So, as Mother Victoria recovers her breath and stops sweating, she says, "You're more than welcome to use the kitchens as you like. I believe I should probably head to bed myself. I only ask that you clean any dishes that you use."
Yes, mother.
Good night, gentlemen. I will see you in the morning.
Good night.
Lucia enters her room, closes the door behind her.
I curl up under the table and just watch the rest of the party.
Yeah, you see Victoria, you guys see Victoria and Governess Victoria exiting the corridor. Oh, everyone's here. Well, thank you all for everything you've done. I'm imagining you're staying here for the night then. Right, as Fisk said.
Yes, the nightmares.
Well,
Need a
Mother
break.
Lucius knows, so heads up about that.
Yeah, she's a very tired woman most nights. That's perfectly fine.
Yes, indeed. Good night to you, gentlemen.
Good evening, Mother Superior.
Victoria closes the door to her own room. You guys are left to your own devices. Is there anything anyone would like to do before we transition to our long rest?
Yes.
Certainly so. Go ahead.
I would like to attempt to describe some of my scrolls that I purchased.
Certainly so. Which ones?
So we've got I'd like to try to do 3 cantrips and detect magic.
I don't think you technically skype cantrips. Let me double check that. You know what's good? I think it's more fun if you can. Go ahead.
Okay, so I guess they are level 0, so DC of 10. And my plus is +8, so as long as I don't roll a 1 or a 2. Is that right?
Well, the thing is, cantrips, while they are technically level 0 spells, because they are still powerful spells that function differently, I would say the DC is probably, I'd say like 10 plus 5. I'd call it a DC of 15, just to be fair, because having a cantrip is quite powerful. But your Arcana is quite high, I believe, and I think if you're using the item, you get a bonus for that.
Alrighty. Alright, there's a failure.
Oof.
There's another failure.
You said spell it. That's a spell attack. Is that right?
A spell attack would use his.
It's my +8.
Yeah.
I see. Gotcha.
Alright, I passed one.
Hey, that's a succeed.
Right on.
All right. Very nicely done, and that's a success.
Alright.
Yeah, thanks to the whatchamacallit, the item. Each failed attempt doesn't take as much time and effort as it normally would. So you have multiple attempts in a small amount of time. So that's pretty good.
Your 2 failures is because Fisk was under the table playing with the tassels in your robe.
Scratching me.
And you.
And I take it the squirrels are gone now.
The scholars are gone. Which spell did you succeed on?
Detect magic and message.
All right.
You know, I wonder if that unicorn could help get rid of a spell that a hag could cast.
Ooh, that's a good one. We should try it out before we go to bed.
It's not a bad idea. I almost want to wake up the children. But we'll have the rug later.
Are you taking out the rug?
Yeah, I guess I'll pull it out.
Okay. You take out the rug. It is so magnificent. It's like one of the nicest things that you've seen in your life. Like they are it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Guess I'll step out into the main hall of the church with it and gesture for anybody who's interested to follow. Is this something I have to attune to?
No, not at all. It's basically a summoning item. You call the
Just lay it
unicorn's
out?
name, and it should appear. It should be.
It's like, what was it again? I think it's in the chat. Let me look.
What is happening? Hello?
Hi.
And is your internet working? And mine.
Faye Lauren, while holding the rug up.
Is he gone? Did we lose him?
I think we did. Hey,
Hello, what was the last thing you guys
so I'll hold the rug out with both hands, kind of to the sky, and say, Faye Lauren.
All right. As you speak the name, you can feel a tingle on your tongue as you do, and you feel it shaking in your hands as, like, suddenly the air fills with a flowery scent, a very strong flowery scent, and your ears are filled with the sound of gently flowing river. The scent of leaves. And you guys see a large horse materialize, almost riding through the carpet and erupting into being from the carpet's fabric. Turns around and looks at you all. You guys hear a voice in your heads. What have you done to me? You fools! And this is where we will end tonight's session of Strahd.